My husband stood in the kitchen and told me I had stolen from his daughter. His words. Stolen. From a college fund that I built dollar by dollar before he was even in the picture. And now half his family won't return my calls, my stepdaughter thinks I hate her, and I'm sitting here genuinely asking myself, did I do something unforgivable, or did I just refuse to let someone else's guilt become my financial obligation? Okay, let me give you the actual picture because it matters. I'm Dana. I have one daughter, Lily. She's 19 now. I started her college fund when she was 3 years old. A 529 account, automatic contributions every single month for 16 years. My mother helped. My sister threw money in on birthdays. This wasn't just savings, it was a family project. An act of love that spanned almost 2 decades. Then 8 years ago, I met Marcus. He's a good man. I want to say that clearly and honestly because this story is not about him being a villain. He has a daughter too, Priya, she's 17. Her mom, Marcus's ex, she's around but not exactly stable financially, and Priya has lived primarily with us for the last 5 years. She calls me Dana, not mom, which is fine. We get along. I take her to appointments, I show up to her plays, I braid her hair when she asks. I'm not indifferent to this girl. I need you to understand that before we go any further. The thing is, Marcus never had a college fund for Priya. That's not a dig, it's just the truth. He went through a brutal divorce, legal fees wiped him out for years, and he was just starting to get back on his feet when we got together. We talked about starting one. We talked about it a lot, but talking isn't saving, and time kept moving. So Lily gets into her first choice school. We are thrilled she worked so hard for this. The fund covers nearly all of it. A few weeks later, Priya gets her acceptances too, and she did great, genuinely really great schools. And that's when Marcus sits me down and says, very calmly at first, that he thinks we should split Lily's college fund between both girls. I actually thought I'd misheard him. I said, I'm sorry, what? And he said, they're both our kids, Dana. It doesn't feel right that one has everything covered and the other is looking at debt before she even starts. And I hear that, I do, but I said, Marcus, that money is Lily's, it has her name on it, my mother contributed to it. My sister contributed to it, I have been putting money in that account since before you and I met, he said, and now we're a family. Like those 4 words were supposed to close the argument. We went back and forth for days. He kept coming back to the idea that blended families require sacrifice, that Priya hadn't chosen the situation, that it wasn't fair. And he wasn't wrong about any of that in the abstract, but I kept saying, this specific money was never part of our shared finances. I never once said to Priya, this fund is for you too. That was never the agreement. His sister called me. That was a fun conversation. She said, do you know how Priya feels right now? Watching her stepsister get everything handed to her? And I said, I understand that's painful, but the answer isn't to take something that was never hers to begin with. His sister told me I was being cold, that I was proving I'd never really accepted Priya as my own. Here's what I actually did. I used the fund for Lily, all of it, as planned, as intended. I did not split it, I did not redirect a cent. And then I told Priya myself, I sat down with her privately before Marcus could frame it his way, and I said, I love having you in my life. I'm going to help you look for every scholarship, every grant, every work study option out there, and I will help you with applications personally. But the account your dad mentioned, that was always Lily's, and I have to honor that. Priya cried. I'm not going to pretend she didn't, she said. I know it's not yours to give. I got my hopes up. And that wrecked me. It genuinely wrecked me. Marcus found out I'd talked to her before him, and he was furious. He said I'd managed the situation to make myself look generous while still keeping the money. And maybe there's a version of that which is true. Maybe I did want credit for the conversation without paying the actual cost. I've thought about that a lot. His mother stopped inviting me to Sunday dinners for a month. Marcus slept in the guest room for 2 weeks. And Lily knows what happened. She offered on her own to contribute something toward Priya's first year once she's working. I did not ask her to do that. I didn't even suggest it, but she did it, and Marcus said that was sweet but not the point. A few weeks later, Priya found a strong scholarship package and a work-study position at her top school. She's going. She's actually going, and she seemed genuinely excited when she told me. Marcus and I are still working through it, still in the thick of it, honestly. He says I made the right call legally and the wrong call as a parent. I say I can't be Priya's parent and her financial safety net at the same time if that was never part of the deal we made. I say the loving thing and the fair thing are not always the same thing, and I almost believe that. So here's where I land, and I genuinely don't know if this is clarity or just self-justification. I protected money that was never part of our shared life. I honored 16 years of other people's sacrifices. I didn't pretend Priya didn't exist. I sat with her. I told her myself. I stayed in that uncomfortable conversation. But I also know that I am the adult in that house with more resources than Marcus, and that a 17-year-old girl watched her stepsister's future get fully funded while her own was uncertain. And yeah, I did make sure I was the one who framed that narrative to her. Marcus wasn't wrong about that part, so I'm asking honestly. Did I protect my daughter or did I protect myself? And is there even a difference? Honestly, though, what would you have done? Comment below.